Hi, everybody, and welcome to Altered States with Rachel. And I'm Rachel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I will say it is so good to be back on schedule. I feel like I'm in life. I'm participating. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I need to share out. I need to do that. So, if y'all don't mind, while I'm sharing out. Will y'all share out for me? Because I don't think I'm where I can on this one. So how is everybody? I seen Carol. Holy 1st of August. I was hoping for a great start. Jokes on you. Well, what's wrong? What have you done, Carol? What have you done? Hello, Tina. Hi, Brigitte. Hi, Chastity. Hello, Kelsey. Hi, Kirsten. Sorry. Oh, wait, I got distracted. I got to share out. Okay. So I was sitting here grabbing cards because I'm doing some funky stuff with my cards in the kitchen. Because, that's where everybody had their tarot and oracle cards, right? In the kitchen. But I did have my crystal cards. So I've got my crystal cards. And I've still got my Guardian of the Night tarot cards. And I have my regular cards. So I think tonight I'm going to add some crystals in there too. It's been a while since I used crystal cards. I love crystals. In case y'all can't tell, got my golden sheen black obsidian here. And I just got back from a crystal show in Franklin, North Carolina. Super excited. And just as a side note, because why not? So I love to put things everywhere. So this is a 3-leaf, well, I guess it's a 2-leaf clover now, but I always stick things in my book. So if I ever let you borrow a book, there's no telling what you will find in it. Here are 4-leaf clovers. You might find dollar bills. You might find CVS receipts. Really no telling. And I do that with dollar bills because I try to think of money as just money, have no emotional attachment to it. It's just, it just is. So I'm notorious for putting dollars in as bookmarks. I'm notorious for anything. I love books. I just got a new book the other day. Super excited about it. Oh, I wish I had it in here. I'll show y'all. So, okay, let me just tell y'all. So, the energy right now, I will say it is crazy, but it's crazy good. I don't want to use the word chaotic because there's chaos in everything. There's chaos in order. There has to be. And even if you think of your body being sick and it's chaotic, there's still an order. This happens and that happens. There's still some sort of order. This energy is crazy good, right? It did whip my tail. It still whips my tail every, so often, every day. But I have been able to slow down and really pay attention to the things that are going on around me. And so, which I think that is one of the keys to manifesting, because I do think there is an order of how you manifest, but I think there's also things that you have to do yourself, things that you have to do. Those are all different to, everybody. And one, I think it's slowing down and being mindful. Because I have to be mindful of what I ask, because I have manifested a lot of things. Because not only do you manifest good things, you manifest bad things, because that's what duality is, right? In order to have good, you got to have bad. So, I won't say that this was a bad thing, but I literally remember, I have never wanted a Great Dane in my life. Never wanted that. It was not a dog that I thought about. And several years ago, like, because we used to have New Year's parties. And I remember walking through the living room and Scooby-Doo was on. And I said, I need to get TJ a Great Dane. Because why not? Scooby-Doo is some cartoon. Every child needs a Great Dane, right? And so I said that in passing. I said it in passing. My New Year's Eve party, somebody's like, hey, Rachel, I got this Great Dane puppy. You want it? And I was like, what are you talking about? And of course, it's a New Year's Eve party and somebody was partaking in some liberations. And I was like, hell yeah, who doesn't want a Great Dane? And then next thing you know, I was doing readings somewhere on for New Year's Day, and I get this text, and it's TJ holding this big ass dog. And it was just like a puppy. And I thought, oh my gosh. First of all, I said I need to get one. And then, I'm drinking and then I agreed to a Great Dane. Who does these things? So, yeah, it's kind of funny of the things that I have manifested in passing because I say it and I just let it go. And I don't know what the whole point of the story was. Oh, yeah. Okay, so books. Hello, everybody. Please follow the bouncing ball. So we just need to insert an ADHD commercial right here or something like that. That's what we need to do. This is sponsored by, ADHD medication here. So I have been slowing down. I've been really paying attention and really been thinking about things. And I have been wanting to know more about what I'm supposed to do. And so whenever I channel and I do healing work, I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? Because I feel like I have so much going on. It's hard for me to concentrate on one thing. I know it's hard for y'all to believe that, but it is true. And then with this energy being so kind of like chaotic, like creative, chaotic, it's very fast moving energy. So I might be doing one thing and then tomorrow I'm doing something else. Like the energy has already moved or shifted and it's just craziness. And so whenever I go into a trance, I sometimes, like if I've ever done Reiki on you, and I think I know with Tina I have, but I'm like, look, there's no telling what I might say. There's no telling what I might do. And I really don't know how my body is going to react. So, and I say that to say, because whenever I go into this trance state, I just do these weird Rachel things. And whenever I'm doing Reiki or energy work, that kind of, it doesn't freak me out because I'm okay with it now. But I'm cautious and I'm nervous that whoever's there receiving the energy, they're thinking, what is she doing? Why is she doing it? And so that just kind of made me nervous. And so I've kind of not stepped back, but I haven't done it professionally. Or I've just been a little bit guarded whenever, I haven't really been doing energy work professionally to just, people in off the streets. Because I'm just nervous, hey, I might start convulsing. I might start shaking. Who knows what's going to happen? Don't know. So I was listening to a podcast or, an interview, and the gentleman was talking about shaking medicine. And I was like, what is shaking medicine? I haven't heard of that. And it's in the form of energy work. And then I realized that's what I'm doing. And I really need my book. And the other really cool thing is this person goes along to talk about all these shamanic traditions and all these healing traditions where your body shakes. And I was like, this makes so much sense because I had my Kundalini experience. And after I realized that I was not possessed and I wasn't going to die, my neck wasn't going to break, I was okay with it. But I went through all these things. Then after I did that, I was like, oh, wait a minute now. How does this fit in with my religion? How does this fit in with that? What am I doing? And I don't know where I'm telling y'all this. So let's just roll with the flow. And then I'm like, well, how does this fit in with my religion? And then in the book, it's like, maybe it's the Holy Spirit, you know? And then I start, like, a lot of things are just making sense, because sometimes whenever I do trance channeling work, I talk in a different sound, not a sound like a different accent. It's a different language. And I didn't know what that was. I still think it could be like alien. And I'm doing things with my hands, and it's not light language. And so I was kind of like, like I'm still trying to figure all that out. And so I'm okay with that. But I wanted to know what it is, not because like, hey, I'm not going to do it unless I know what it is. I just like to know. And so now I know, hey, this shaking stuff, I figured that out. So these clicks and pops and sign language, it's going to be figured out too. So I'm okay with that. And so in the book, they were giving me all these different examples of people who do shaking medicines, shaking in the form of when they're doing energy work or whatever, when you're in the spirit, when you're this trance channeling spirit. And so I don't know if you ever heard of the group called the Shakers, like Quakers. They're the same thing. So Pentecostals, all these different groups do this form of it. And then I kept reading about it, and they were talking about, of course, African-American traditions, the Bushmen, how they all do forms of this. And then they were even talking about this one man named Thomas Dorsey. And he was kind of like this person, like he wrote the song, Take My Hand, Precious Lord. So he was this blues person, and he was like one of the first ones to really make blues mainstream in gospel music. And the other really cool thing about this is that Thomas Dorsey was born here in Billerica, which is where I live. And we have like the Thomas Dorsey Festival. We do all these things, and celebrating his honor. And to me, that is just like, really, Rachel, I don't know. It just, one, it's very synchronistic, but then it's very cool. It's very cool. So blah, 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 blah. My book about shaken medicine is very good. I'm very excited. And so this isn't like whenever you go to a strip club and there's ladies up there performing, or men up there performing, or people up there performing, giving out medicine. It's not that kind of dancing. It kind of like starts in your abdomen. And I do a lot of energy work on my husband at night. Like I have woke up giving him Reiki with, me not knowing it. But then whenever I snuggle, we snuggle up because, I'm just so sweet. Such a good little wife. I'll put my hands on him, and my intention is to send energy work while I'm sleeping, why not? And I'll start like convulsing. And so whenever I'm in the bed convulsing and I'm trying to go to sleep and he's trying to go to sleep, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, can you stop it? And I'm like, I don't know. Because these are the conversations that him and I have at 2:00 in the morning, because it is so fun to live with me. Yeah. Just as a side note, there have been times whenever I have been channeling, whatever, again, at night, because, whenever you lay down to go to sleep, that is one of the best times, because you start to relax, you start to release, you go into that hypnagogic state. And so it happens a lot. Don't be scared. It just happens. And this was going on, and he goes like, what's going on? And I was like, and I couldn't talk. And this has happened before, actually, whenever I was in Gettysburg. And so I grabbed my phone, took it off the charger, and I'm like, I can't talk. And he goes, what do you mean you can't talk? Like, are you taking this vow of silence? Are you being like contemplative monk. Why can't you talk? And I was like, I can't talk. So I'm texting. I was like, it'd be fine. It's just one of those things. And then we just lay down and go to sleep. And I know he's got to think, shh, what did I get myself into? He got himself into some good times. That's what he got. So anyway, are y'all tired of hearing me chit-chatting yet? I know, right? Alrighty. Hey, Alice. That's a new name. Welcome, Alice. Thank you, Chastity. I'm working on my regal work. My regal. I feel very Victorian. I don't know why. No, Alice, I don't. It was more of clicks and pops. It was I cannot do it like I've tried to do it to make that sound again, and I can't do it. I mean, I can do it when I'm in that headspace, but now I can't do it. And it's more clicks and pops. And I know that there is a language like that in Africa. It's, there's some sort of old African language, but it is not the same because I have looked it up. And so I don't know if any of y'all are into aliens or follow Corey Good, that, he is part of these blue aliens. And I have figured out that they do some sort, I have thought, okay, this is aliens. It's aliens. It's okay. I'm cool with that. And, but the things with the fingers, the motions, because it reminded me of sign language. And in a lot of his references, he says that they do a lot of like a sign language type with their hands. So I do not remember. I have recorded myself 2 or 3 things. I have recorded it 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 different times. And I'm telling y'all, if honestly, it's like, this is aliens, this is Bushmen, this is whoever ancestors. These are people enjoying having a good time with me, because I feel like I'm appropriately addressed now, and okay, I'm cool with this. If I sit down to do this and record me the way I look now, nothing would happen. If I am looking the most bougiest, hair jacked up, I have on a painting shirt, I'm cleaning, because one time I was painting, one time I was cleaning, all these different things and I remember honestly, one time I was wearing this back support thing. So it's poking up. It looks like I have all these things coming out my shirt. And that's when that's whenever these messages are coming through. So I'll say, look, I want you to watch this. But yes, this is how I look. Yes, I'm standing in my bathroom. Yes, I see all that stuff on, my shower, that the towels and the clothes or whatever. And I'm like, it is what it is, Rachel. If you want them, you got to show the video. And Jennifer and I was talking about this earlier, and I think it's all about being seen. I'm having, one of the things I have to work on is being seen, and then how people see me in that. Brigitte, I will have to look that up and see. But yeah, it's very tongue and clickish. Okay. So all right, Kaz. Welcome. So, all right, I'll go ahead and go with Kaz. So let me know if y'all want a message. If you want a reading, what you want. Tell me what you want. All right. So what does Kaz need to know? Kirsten, you're waiting for aliens to come back and pick you up. You think they forgot you? I used to have such an aversion to aliens. like I knew they were there, but I was like, we're still not talking about it. And it's just like with snakes. I know snakes are there, but I'm still not going to walk down the where they are at PetSmart. I think it's crazy anyway. But it's like, mm-mm. And honestly, I remember, I don't know if I've told y'all this, but I had a friend, we was in Tucson and we were at a crystal show, and she was like, oh my gosh, aliens are so cool. What would happen right now? And I was like, Colleen, I will beat you. Like, shut up. Don't call, don't, like, let's get to civil, because I mean, like, for real, like, we was on some interstate in Tucson, black everywhere. You can see the stars. And I just knew, like, she was fixing to, I don't know, the mothership was fixing to come down. And I was like, Colleen, I don't know what you're doing, but I do not want to be involved in your abduction. Like, you need to stop. Not today. But I'm also a big believer in that you really don't have to be abducted anymore. And I really don't know why I'm talking about this. So if there's anybody who is abducted a lot or has a lot of interactions with aliens, if there's anybody in the chat or anybody like that, I forgot about that. So one of y'all is the alien lover. Not mention any names. All right. Kaz. What does Kaz need to know? Okay, Kaz. So this is just a buffet of cards here. So I pulled 3 cards. The first one is the King of Cups. And so cups, cups is all about your emotions, feelings, and perceptions. And so the King, this is somebody who kind of represents that energy of, they're a counselor. They are, it's somebody who's professional, but it's somebody more of like on the emotional realm. So it would be somebody that you would go to for advice. And typically this person has reached that point where they are emotionally balanced. It would be to, okay, so for example, like I think this is what is wrong with a lot of people today, because they have nowhere to go and ask like their elders, their friends, their families for advice, because those people they're asking, they're still jaded, they're still biased. They can't say things like they're still emotionally attached, or they still have issues, or they can't see past these things, or they're still hurt. And I know like everybody is, but it's like this is like they have that agenda. And that's where we are right now. Like those people who can give you advice and who do it like honestly and without any emotions attached, and with like that's just it's those people are being few and far between, are harder to find. I do think that there's going to be this renaissance of them where it comes back, but it's going to be, we go back to that. So this is the person who is emotionally balanced. And so it's that energy of being emotionally balanced, but also being available, being open and available to others. But within that, whenever you are balanced, you have these boundaries of whenever you say, I can't today, or no, not today, now's not a good time. So it's not like you're always giving. You're able to say, I can't today, but how about tomorrow? Or look, I done seen this on TV, or I saw this wreck. I'm not in a good mind space. I can't. Because that's the other thing, is to, recognize when you can't. So it's the energy of that. Then it is followed by the 8 of Cups. And again, Cups is, it's emotion, feeling, and perception. And so here, the 8 of Cups, this is, it's that whole energy of like they're moving on. So this is where, traditionally it shows the person like kind of on land, but there's like a stream behind it and it shows them walking. So they're moving on to higher ground. And it really makes me, again, emotionally not available, because with the Eight of Cups, it's like, hey, you recognize this situation. You recognize that it is a serious situation, and it's not that you shouldn't you shouldn't engage in it. You shouldn't partake in it. It's just like, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be here. So it's not that you're not dealing with it. It's actually harder to walk away. And you're not doing it in the aspect where you're just ghosting somebody. It's where you're like, hey, look, I am not available. I can't do this, but let me step away and I'll readdress this. It's that. Just being aware of your emotions, of what you can and can't do, and walking away whenever you can't. So the crystal with this is so there are crystals, but it just so happens that there's like 3 or 4 of them that are these master crystals. And what this has to do with is actually the formation. And so here, this is the awakening crystal. And what this is, what it really is, it's like, again, it's that formation, but it's the formation of celestial. It looks outer space. So it's kind of like, it can be called alligator quartz and it can be called celestial quartz. And I don't think I have a piece. I have a lot of this at the store, but this is a higher vibrational crystal, and this is all about emotional healing. So Kaz, if you are doing this self-reflection where you are, like kind of judging yourself, and you're judging yourself too hard, like, oh, I should have done this, or when they asked me, I should have said no, or I feel like, Kaz, that you are judging yourself too harshly. You're judging yourself too harshly. Like you're saying, I should have known better. I should have known better. But the thing is, we're all evolving. We're all evolving. This is a learning experience. And the fact that you realize that you should have did it, that is perfect. And then it's going to get to a point to whenever you're in that moment and you can walk away, where you can say, I'm not going to talk to you like this. And then you walk away. And then, like, I'll address it whenever you're in a different space and I'm in a different space. And then it'll get to the point to where you can maybe head it off. So there's all different levels. And I say that to say this. You can be, you can be good. You can be so good emotionally. And a situation is coming and you can head it off. Or you can walk away, you can engage, or, disengage. And you think, oh my gosh, I'm so emotionally mature. I did that. And then you have another situation like 2 minutes and you just lose it. So it's always a revolving door, and it's always a process. It's just all about how you react to it. So always know that you are where you are. You are where you are emotionally. And if you can give 100% to that situation, then you give as much as you can. If you can only give 50%, that's all you can give. And it just feels like that's what this is about, that you are kind of beating yourself up because you reacted. And that's okay to react. Like, that's perfectly fine. You realize that you should have reacted different, and that's huge. I know Jennifer and I was talking about this earlier about people being dickheads and all this, and I still think it's okay to be a dickhead because everybody has bad days. But if they was to come and say, look, Rachel, I was being a dickhead, I'm so sorry. To me, I'd be like, oh, like to me, that's huge. And I try and think about that. So, because, we're all going to have days. It's just a matter of to go back and do it. And honestly, I have been in situations where I acted crazy and I have honestly turned around and bit somebody's head off. And then I turn around and go and say, I am so sorry. I don't know why I'm acting this way. I'm sorry. But I mean, it doesn't sound like that sweet and innocent. It's just like, I just realized what I did was wrong. But all I can say at this point is what I did was wrong. And I got to like get away from that. I've even been in that things. And so like there's different degrees and I don't know. Anyway, Kaz, don't beat yourself up. You're doing the best you can for where you are. Everybody is. Or hopefully we are, Okay. All right. Who is next? Who is next? Alrighty. Brigitte. All right. You want to know what does Spirit need to tell Brigitte? Oh my gosh. I wish I could show you my cards because I literally have them just laid out and I'm not shuffling them. I'm pulling everybody random. That's what I'm going to do. And so your card is the next one. Okay. So Brigitte, yours is Ruby. And Ruby is all about shining. And so with rubies, there can be this star in it. It's a star ruby. It's a star sapphire. It's everything. And you can kind of see it. But it's all about that star, shining. And again, about channeling with the Law of One, Ra, he talks about rubies. And rubies is one of the best gemstones or crystals that he says to have. So Brigitte, they are saying shine. The other cool thing is the second card is the star. And this is the major arcana, And so the star is about new start. It's optimism. It's all good. It's cleansing. So there's that. Then it is followed by the Hermit. And this is of the Guardian of the Night Tarot. And I'm going to look it up. Because I love her. I love her verbiage about the animals. But so the Hermit, it is number 9, and it's the major arcana. And so the Hermit, it's all about it's meditation, it's going within, it's that deep introspect. And so here, what she says about the Hermit is, let's see. The Hermit asks that you seek solitude, find that quiet space that welcomes insight from your higher self. The Hermit energy is often lost on those who mistake being alone for loneliness or an uncomfortable sitting with only their inner thoughts. When this card appears, take time and practice the skill of achieving peace while in solitude. Once your mind is in a state of quiet, listen to that faint voice that comes through. Can you hear the guidance? The spider makes for an ideal hermit as it is less than a social creature, preferring to spend time in the shadows. Channel this creature, known for its mysterious qualities, when it is time for you to assess your growth. There are new opportunities to cast a new net or spin a new web to help you find or gain the desired outcome. Have patience that the results don't happen overnight. So, Brigitte, you keep shining, okay? You keep shining. Okay, so I was trying to ask why, so this Hermit, you're being out in the spotlight, you're being the lighthouse, and then you've got the Hermit. So, it's it feels kind of like that duality again. You like do this, but then you do that. It's like contradiction, but it's like, no, Brigitte, it's like you know who you are to step in this power, step in this place of power, step in it and shine, because you're constantly stepping back and doing this self-reflection of, am I coming from the right space? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And so, yeah, this is all about you shining and not worrying about ego, because you're shining in the right capacity. It's not, oh, look at me, it's whenever you say this, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know that, where did that come from? It's like you're constantly keeping yourself in check. And those are the people that we need to shine. Okay. So you just keep shining. And I love the fact that you've got the ruby, which is, the star, and then you've got the star itself. So you keep shining and know that, yeah, you're being guided and you're doing good. All righty. All right, Kirsten, you're the next one. Kirsten, I have this health issue that is starting to crack me a bit. This strong energy I'm afraid of. I don't know how to stop it from entering all parts of my being. I see or feel like I need a label so I can put the unwanted in a tight tin box. This is the most honest I've been in months with myself. Okay. So, Kirsten, the crystal that came up is lapis lazuli, and this is all about past life. And this is also about psychic protection. So, I'm getting a lot of like third eye type stuff, psychic protection. And it's not like you're being attacked. It's just that comfort level. So I'm wondering if something is coming up past life with you. The card is the 9 of Swords. Again, it's thoughts, your mind, intellect. That's what the swords are. And so the 9 of Swords is all about, it's restless, unable to sleep, being, like illness of oneself. But it is followed by the 10 of Swords. And so the 10 of Swords, this is, again, swords, it's your thought, it's your mind, it's your intellect. And the 10 is overwhelmed. It's overwhelmed. So it's very much, restlessness and feeling overwhelmed. And okay, so all it is they're just recognizing, yes, this is validation of what's going on. So the fact that you are asking for a label so you can take and put it in a tight tin box and let it go. So I do feel like, Kirsten, this is past life things, but I also don't think that it is past life how we think of it. Like, I don't think this is, from 2 centuries ago in the 1700s, because I don't know how this works. I almost see, like, I don't see it as being linear. I almost see it like as a circle. That's how I think they kind of work, because I think that's how we're all connected. And so this past life really might not be that past. It might be closer. It just feels closer. So what I was kind of seeing was, Kirsten, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but it just feels like you're tensing up and you're like you don't know what to do with it. And I just see you tensing up super, super, super tight. And whenever you do that, like it can't escape it. You're almost closing it in, like you're trying to trap it. You're trying to keep it in. And I know what you're saying by putting it there and locking it away, because that's what we do with emotions. That's what we call like the heart locker. You know, we take our emotions and we tuck it away so we don't have to deal with it or think about it. But that's what it feels like. It feels like, and trust me, I'm all about labels, because I think so. You don't know what it is. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know why. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I say that to say this. So about 2 weeks ago, I had some sort of allergic reaction out of nowhere. And who knows? And I mean, you know, like I'm laying there in bed, like, come on, guys, tell me, do I need to go to the emergency room? Like, what? Because I was getting super, super sleepy. I was getting all these things, like, you know, I had already, like, it had lasted for days. And so this was the climax of it. And it was happening again as I was going to lay down. And I had already taken a shower because it was by this point, it was already on my skin. I was itching like crazy. My eyes were itchy. My lips were kind of swell. My throat was closing up, all these things. And I know this sounds really irresponsible, but I was like, let me just go to sleep, you know, and I didn't take anything in my, you know, and it was all these things. But yeah. And so that's what I did. But because of that, like it lingered the next Monday, I went into this whole self-reflection mode. And even though I was trying to pinpoint it, I knew that it wasn't one particular thing, because several weeks prior to this, I was thinking that I needed to do a liver cleanse. Like, you need to do a liver cleanse. And I was like, why do I need to do a liver cleanse? Like, the liver should cleanse itself. Like, I don't need to buy any more supplements, because I'm all about supplements. And like, these again are the conversations that I have with myself in my head. And then whenever I start looking about what this allergic reaction is and why I'm having it and what are some things I can do. I did go to the doctor. I did do that, and, you know, having blood work, but like we can't find it, you know, and so it must have been something external, must have been something that I inhaled, but I hadn't been around anything new besides my chickens. And, you know, I don't know. So I think it was like an accumulation of everything. So honestly, instead of being afraid of it, Kirsten, I think you need to sit in it, and then you need to say, hello, what's going on? What's going on? And, you know, what is it? And you can talk to it, because whenever, especially you have emotions like attached to this illness or, you know, this health problem, whenever you have emotions, like it becomes, not that it becomes a thing, but there are emotions attached to it. And talk to it. Just say, hey, you know, where'd you come from? What is this about? And if you specifically don't know what it is, you know, like if it's something like MS, or like you don't know what it is or what's going on, just imagine, like, you know, sit down and get into this meditative state, or just sit down and just relax and start to breathe, and just say, I want to see what this is with a color. So kind of imagine in these areas, and it's not right or wrong, so don't use any kind of judgment like that. And imagine it, you know, leaving your body effortlessly and easily. You can imagine sitting out in the sun and it being pulled out. Again, I feel like it's being hidden because I'm trying to see what it is going on with you. And I just see it being like systematic. I just see it like being systematic. I don't think it has one particular place or one particular origin. It just feels like it's all over. So if you're looking for where it originated or how it originated or why it originated. I don't know if you're going to find that. But Kirsten, I love the fact that you said this is the most honest that you have been in months with yourself, because that is a huge statement. That's a huge statement. So I applaud you for saying that. Kirsten, I'll send you some energy too. I'll do some energy work. And I guess I'm being, what's it called? I'm being manhandled. Let's see, Alice. Alice wants a card. All right, leave it up the way I can focus on her name, Alice. Okay, Alice. Yours is a labradorite, and it's all about take action. And labradorite, it's one of those cards that have different layers. This is a really cool crystal if you want to scry or to look into something. It does have that sheen. This is like a good stone for transmuting type things. It's a good stone for practices, for rituals, whatever you're kind of into. Like what I was talking about with Kirsten doing that transfer, like turning, like removing the pain or doing all that. This would be a good stone for that. But it's all about take action. Then the tarot card is this lovely 5 of Wands, and 5 is all about change. And so the Wands is jobs, employment, security. So this is like struggles, it's hassles, it's fighting. Then it is followed by the 2 of Cups. And Cups, again, is emotions, feelings, and perceptions. And this is all about partnerships. It can be romantic or it can be, business. It's just an exchange of ideas. So it really feels like, Alice, that you have, surprise, you have this internal conflict where you don't know what to do. And it's like you're fighting within yourself and you don't know what to do. You're trying to make the right decision. All you have to do is take action. It doesn't have to be a huge step. All it has to do is a little step. All you have to do is just do something. Start working towards it. You don't have to know exactly what the details are. All you have to do is start walking and working towards the outcome. So you just got to do something. And I think that that's what it's all about, is just take that step. Just do something. All right, who's next? Chastity. Hello, Chastity. Ooh, Chastity. So, Chastity, yours is citrine. And citrine is all about abundance. And citrine, I will say this because I love crystals. So citrine is one of the crystals that are mostly faked. Okay. So what they can do is they'll take amethyst and they will heat treat it and it'll turn brown, orangish brown, and they'll try to pass it off as citrine, but it's not. It's heat treated. But I say that to say, just don't pay citrine price for it if it's not real citrine. But as I've said before, you can take a common rock and set your intention, or you don't even have to have a rock. You don't even have to have a crystal. It's just the intention. So that overbaked amethyst that they're calling citrine, it'll still work as citrine. Just don't pay citrine price for it, okay? Don't get taken or swindled. So here it's all about abundance. And citrine is one that is like your solar plexus, okay? I'm being called, Chastity, to your solar plexus. And then the next card is the Ace of Pentacles. And Pentacles is all about security, material issues, your money. And the Ace of Pentacles is all about something big. I like to think of this as the miracle card. So there's something big, something huge that is coming your way. Then it is followed by the 5 of Cups. And we know that 5 is all about transition. It's all about change. And we know that Cups is all about emotions, feelings and perceptions. And so here, this is thinking like this is the card that represents like you think all is lost, like all is gone, like all is gone. So I'm trying to ask what this abundance and Ace of Pentacles and this Five of Cups, what does all this mean? And I'm going to ask my little clarity valve. So what came up is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And so this is all about things being downsized. Not so typically the Ten of Pentacles is all about expansion, it's renovation. So then the opposite of that is, things not growing, things downsizing, that. Chastity, you are blocking your own. Chastity, you are blocking your you're blocking your blessings. You're blocking your blessings. You have all these really great things coming towards you, and you're turning them away. You're turning them away. And it's not like you don't see them. You're turning them away. Why is she turning them away? So I don't know, Chastity, why you're blocking these blessings. It feels like they're coming to you and you don't like who they're coming from. Like you think that there is strings attached to it, or you're afraid that there's strings attached to it. And so even if they're not coming from somebody physically, maybe it's that like, listen, okay, universe, I know when everything is going really, really well, then you're going to like drop a tower a moment on me. And then you're going to kick me in my head and you're going to do all these things to me. So you just keep letting me have all these little obstacles and I'll keep taking all these little obstacles then because that feels comfortable to me. That feels like I'm used to being in chaos. I'm used to being in dysfunction. I don't know, like this is comfortable for me. So whenever a blessing does come, you block it. Like, not today. I'm not taking that blessing. No, I don't want this. Like, you're the Wonder Woman blocking it. That's how it feels because it feels foreign to you. It doesn't feel, it's like, if you, like, why? If I take this, does that mean I'm going to die in 2 weeks? Like, why? Like you see it as this trade-off or that it just feels like, why? Are you asking yourself why? Like, like, I don't know, Chastity, if you think that you don't deserve it or if there's people who deserve it more than you do, but it feels like you are blocking your blessings. So quit blocking them. Quit blocking them. Kelsey, you're starting your new job next Monday. Is there anything I need to know going in? Well, let's just ask the cards, Kelsey. Congratulations. So, Kelsey, this is a mysterious reading. It feels very Wizard of Oz-ish. Wizard of Oz-ish. So the first one is the crystal. It's all about compassion. And, so this is obviously about the heart chakra. Compassion. Then it is followed by this guy right here, the Ten of Pentacles. So Pentacles is security, material issues, and wealth. And again, this is all about expansion. It's about renovation. It's about, to me, it's about the community. It's about coming together. Then it is followed by the Seven of Swords. Now, check this out. Look at this. Does this not look, I don't know, it looks very, okay, well, first of all, I was going to say sexy because it's just something about this like Black Panther that's crouching down and it's looking. And I don't know why I think that that's sexy. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like seductive. Maybe that's the word. So 7 of Swords, it's all about thoughts, your mind, and intellect. And so the 7 is all about things being taken away, things being taken away. It can be like things stolen from. Typically, that's what the other card means, or a loss. I'm going to look to see what she says about this Panther and see what her take is on it. I see it very seductiveness or something. So, The 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords suggests a situation that may test your honor and integrity. If you are tempted, you better avoid any temptation. Avoid any temptation, Kelsey. If you are tempted to abandon the insights and wisdom of those around you, the result may be the perception that you are arrogant and self-serving. Be aware of your self-talk when you draw the 7 of Swords. Be aware that the 7 of Swords supports an atmosphere where accountability is easily hidden. If you or someone else manages all the details alone without oversight, there is a possibility of deception or cutting corners without acknowledgement. Found in Americas, the black panthers, like the jaguar, live a solitary life at the top of the food chain. The only threat to these beautiful and powerful creatures are humans. Call on the panther's energy whenever you need to fill the role of a leader that commands respect, as it will help you with your integrity and honesty. When you confront your fears, traveling into the darkness within, uncovering that part of yourself where you are comfortable with staying hidden. So, Kelsey, this was all about you with, your new job starting. I think it's honestly about you to have compassion with yourself and realize that, because I think I'm pretty sure I said this before, that just have compassion for yourself, because you are moving from this situation where you were very solitude, very here. Now you're moving into where there's a lot of people, and that can be overwhelming. And just be aware. And I'm not saying that people are out to get you. You be aware of, be aware of your energy. You just be aware. And, that's the thing is, whenever you're at home all the time, or, you're in the same space, you get used to it. And, for the longest time at my store, I thought that there was no ghost there because I couldn't feel them. I had no idea. And one of my friends came in and she's like, Rachel. And I'm like, what? And she's like, your store is haunted as I'll get out. And I was like, no, I would know if there's something in here. And I was like, I can feel it. And I'm like, and she's like, really? And she's laughing at me. And she's like, no, she says, when you get used to the energy, you don't feel it. And I'm like, joke's on me. So yeah, it's real easy for you to stay within this confined area, and it's like you're comfortable. So whenever you finally move out, then you're able to explore, you're able to experience all these energies. So just have compassion for yourself. I think, Kelsey, that's the whole takeaway with this. I think you're going to be dealing with a lot of emotions, and I think physically you're going to be dealing with a lot. I mean, you might not have to be physically doing work. I think it's just, I don't know. It just feels like there's this whole new, there's all these new things that you haven't thought about that you're going to have to deal with. But these are all within yourself. It's not like there's going to be craziness going on at your work that you're going to have to deal with it. It just feels like there's all these little subtle nuances that you're going to have to feel with. It feels very much like about your energy, within your subtle bodies, within your aura, all these things. And it can feel very overwhelming. So if you feel very overwhelmed, don't think it's because you have the lack of knowledge or the lack of ability to do something. It's like overstimulation. But you can't learn about these new things until you're put into that environment. So you're going to be fine. Just don't take all this being overwhelmed as a sense of that you can't do it. You don't know what you're doing. You done lost your touch. It's just no, there's a lot going on. Congratulations, Kelsey. Jan, okay. So you have lots of questions, so you figure I should just ask what the spirits need to tell you. Okay. So the first one is this Libyan gold tektite. So this is all about manifesting. Again, this is solar plexus stuff. This has to do with free will. It has to do with creativity. It has to do with willpower. Then it is followed by the Six of Swords. And again, swords, it's your thought, it's your mind, it's intellect. It's knowing when to walk away. Then it is followed by the Page of Swords. And so the Page of Swords is, so again, swords, it's your thought, it's your mind, and your intellect. And the page usually represents like newer, younger energy. And so it's like you're searching for information. So I pulled another one for clarity, and it's the King of Swords. So here we got all swords. So, and the King of Swords, this is somebody who's a professional, like an attorney. They are, it's somebody that has power, but it's intellectual type power. So your question was, what do the spirits want to tell you? So honestly, what I feel like is that you have somebody around you that is being sneaky and trying to get information. And I normally don't like saying things like that, because to me that can like who is it? Why are they doing that? Like that is fear-based, and I do not want to do that. I just want to let you know that I don't think this is anybody within your circle, what it really feels like, it feels like this is somebody that you have reached out to because it feels like if this is a project and you need some additional information and you reached out to that person for like records or like research material, it just feels like you have reached out for documentation. And this person's like, oh my gosh, yes, I would love to forward you this information. I would love to give you this. Yes, 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 yes. And it just feels like it's not going to be there. Like they're not going to do it, or that it's not going to come. That's what it feels like. So I'm really wondering now what is going on. But it just seems like you have reached out for information from somebody, and like this isn't like it isn't a friend, it's somebody, like at a business, or I don't know. I just keep thinking like research, like documentation, like you have reached out for records, like a records request, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let me send that to you." Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm, finishing it up. I'm fixing to put it out in the mail, and it's not going to happen. So, and it's just not going to happen. So, if you need that, then I would do it once, and if it didn't happen, don't waste your time as to say, oh, hey, did you forget? Or, hey, do you need additional thing? You just bypass that and you go a different route. Of course, try that first time. And if it doesn't happen, don't waste your, excuse me, sorry. Don't waste your time on it. Go to another route. That's what it feels like. Good deal. Oh, Kirsten, it's in your bones and blood. It's all over. Yes, I agree. Ascension Network. It feels like lupus, like it does it. And I think I said multiple sclerosis because I think of that as a like chronic fatigue. I think that they are all there, but they all overlap. Like there is a name, but it's just kind of like when we talk about empaths, like, oh, I feel the emotions, or I feel other people's, like, yeah. And so typically it's like this in this box in this category, but it all depends because you could still have like a little variation of this and a little variation of that. So it's all within you to try and figure out how that works and what it's working. Um, and I know that's got to be hard. And I'm so sorry, Kirsten. You know, hmm, hmm. I'm sure you've asked for clarity about it. I'm sure you have. Um, but yeah, because it was feeling like you were tense, you know, and this is just how I feel. I don't know what you're doing or whatever's happening, that it feels like you're tensing up and you're getting really, really tight. And, and that could be you being stressed, and then it just like producing more toxins and more, it just like it's producing more. And I know I've talked about the vagal nerve or the vagus nerve. Um, look at, I think it's polyvagal nerve. I know there's a bunch of different things. Um, yeah, yeah, it's okay, Kirsten. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out. You enjoy the research and enjoy the journey. And I'll tell you what, so like for the longest time, because I had like this autoimmune thing where the tips of my fingers would turn bright, bright white, and the rest of my hands would get red. And so it was a form of, I forget what it's called, Sojourns or Raynaud's or whatever. And it was kind of freaking me out. And then whenever I talked to the doctor, they're like, so what do you want? You want pain medicine? And I was like, no, I've already researched all this. I just want like this test to know, because it would, like, you would do a test and they would tell you what your numbers are. And my plan was to go back like every 2 years, as long as I haven't got worse, and making sure what I was doing was getting my numbers down. And that's what it was doing. And I was like, the more I researched it and what caused it and how I could fix it, I was so appreciative that it was happening on my fingers, and I had this sign, I had this indicator of when it was happening. Because with most people, when it starts happening, when they start actually noticing it, it's already happening to the veins or arteries inside their stomach, and it's already cutting off blood supply to their organs. So I was very appreciative that my sign and my indicator was right here on the tips of my fingers and not something going to some arteries. So just say, hey, okay, how are we going to fix this? Because I think whenever you stress out and you tense up, that makes it worse. Like with anything, like that, everybody knows that, but it's still hard. But you can fix it and you can heal yourself. And of course, you haven't said that to anyone because, you try and carry the weight of the world and everything on yourself. Well, congratulations and thank you for feeling safe and saying it here. You can fix it. You can fix it. Okay. Who else is next? Yes, you can get a quick read. No, hello. My thing is whenever I grow up, I want to be like Jennifer. Don't worry about it being my show. This ain't about me. This is about, it's about everybody healing. That's what it's about. So anything, don't ever. It's not your show. It's our show. This is the Rachel show. If this was the Rachel show, it would be a little bit more. Trust me, there would be no ego. It'd be a lot of dirty jokes. It'd be a lot of stuff. All right. The Ascension Network, this is your reading. So this is, the crystal is Brazilianite, and it's all about flexibility. So I'm going to look this one up because whenever things are rigid, they don't bend, right? So we know that. And this green for the heart chakra. And I need one of my ABCs. I'm still getting there, so just hang on. Just hang on. So, Brazilianite resonates the energy of flexibility and empowerment, offering it to all who cross its path. It gently guides you to release tension and loosen the reins so the divine light of the universe is able to ebb and flow into your life experiences. It shares its divine timing when it's open to receive its magic. So when you allow more flexibility in life, it opens to a whole new world of opportunity. And whenever I was reading this, I know we were talking about a conversation earlier and about how you had come to the decision to release some things, some things. And because, there was like you would do this and then there was no give back, or didn't feel like there was, I don't know, there was nothing there. But whatever you put out was received and it goes to the person that it needed to go to. So that person got that inspiration and they were doing what needs to be done. So your whole job with that situation might not have been to beat the drum. It just might have been to give the idea of somebody how to make a drum. So you're good. And then it is followed by the sun. And so the sun is happiness on all levels. It is total accomplishment. And it is all about divine and mutual love. And I think that is where you are, that you are able, everything doesn't have to be 120%. All you have to do is be that inspiration. And like we were talking before, earlier, whenever I was saying that the energy is moving faster. So something that might take, 2 or 3 months or 2 or 3 years for somebody to be inspired, now they might get it in 2 days. So whatever was supposed to happen happened. Then it is followed by the Knight of Swords. And so again, swords is your thought, your mind, intellect. And so the Knight of Swords, this is, it's taking action, but it's fast moving energy. It's fast, it's fast moving energy. This is new ideas. It's all these new things that are coming in. It's just like this, it's this new energy where you're driven more now to succeed. So whatever task you was handed, it was completed. It might not look completed in your eyes, but it was completed. So now the task person who is handing out the task is fixing to hand you a couple more. So you take it as far as it will go, and you do what you're supposed to do. Don't beat a dead horse. Don't waste your time, because energy is moving fast. And that's as exciting energy as this is as exciting energy as this is to be in. It also still feels hard, because it's like, am I done? Did I not do enough? Do I need to do something else? And just being able to say, yes, everybody is getting what they needed, and they're doing what they're doing. And I got to go on to somebody else. It almost feels like speed dating. It feels like very that, like here, go, 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 go. Very cool. So, very cool. Oh, don't be sorry. Well, Kirsten, I don't know if you know about Louise Hayes, but she has that little book called You Can Heal Your Life. Look it up to see. It's just because I'm a big believer in emotions and how emotions affect our body. And just really dive into this, and you can heal yourself. I mean, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Alrighty. Well, is there anything else that we all want to talk about? Do y'all want to pull? Let me pull 3 cards for the month of August. How about that? So what came up, this is for the month of August. I guess it's a collective. And it is the crystals dioxide, and it's all about Mother Earth, and it's green, which is the heart chakra, So it's, that compassion. It's whether for yourself or whoever. And let me read what the there's a dioptase and there's a diopside. Okay. So this loving healing crystal is deeply connected to and aligned with the heart of the earth. The medicine of the diopside will gently guide you into the inner chambers of the heart to know your true essence. It encourages you to feel the oneness with the earth and the blessings and healing that comes with such a sacred connection. Mother Gaia shares her medicine of divine love, nurturing, grounding, balance, and divine feminine energy of healing. The ancients understood our intimate connection with the earth and recognized and honored her deeply. Definitely need to reconnect to this. Then it is followed by the Knight of Swords. We just talked about this other card with Jennifer. And so again, this is fast moving energy of, there's 4 knights. This is the only knight that shows this much action, and that's what he's doing. He is charging, and he's not necessarily charging into battle. It could just be excitement. It can be passion. And I think we need to ignite our passion. We don't need to become complacent. And we need to get this new energy where we feel alive. It's very much that new drive. And then it is followed by the 9 of Wands. And so wands, it's your jobs, it's employment and security. And so the 9 is all about the last step. It's right before the completion, which is the 10. And again, somebody and I was having this conversation earlier about like a tipping point, that I feel like we're still maybe kind of like teeter-tottering, like things can still rock. It can still go either way. But this is all about being prepared, being guarded, discernment. But it's also about your consciousness, consciousness bothering you. And I'm going to read her description too, because I want to know her take about this. It's not like a guilty conscience, like, oh, I did something wrong. It's like, I know we can do better. How can we do better? How can we inspire? How can we meet people where they are and inspire them where they are? Because the thing is, you can say too much to people and they're like, look, all I'm trying to do is make enough money to buy food to pay my kids. All I'm trying to do is make enough money to feed my kids. Like, I can't save the world. All I'm trying to do is just like make sure my kids have food tonight. And you have to meet people where they are. If not, it just overwhelms them. And so it's that on any kind of scale. So the Knight of Wands, the word that comes to mind when I see the Knight of Wands is boundaries. Boundaries are the secret sauce to getting through, finding the stamina to push forward and defend yourself against those who drain you of your energy and time. The Nine of Wands carries the message that you will need to step back and take a break. Otherwise, you may risk hurting yourself or derailing your progress. If the work must continue, you may need to call in support or delegate tasks. I'm having a hard time reading these. If the work must continue, you may need to call in support or delegate tasks. You need to establish guidelines and realize that exhaustion is avoidable. But if you push through, then you are taking the risk of making errors. And in the end, that is what will create more work. So it's about that discernment of, like what I was saying, if somebody was requiring documents, don't waste your time. Say, hey, I need this, and do the proper channels. And if they don't get it, don't waste your time. Go somewhere else. Don't waste your energy. Don't waste your effort. But realize how much time you're willing and how much energy you're willing to spend on this. And if not, you need to move on. And of course, you have to do this with discernment, because whenever I say, think about how much energy or how much effort that you need to do, again, the whole lesson might be for that little notch right there. It might be for that person to learn. So it might not be what you think is the bigger, grander idea. It might be for that little notch to learn that. And that might be all the lesson is. But just be guarded, have your boundaries, and know what to do and when to do it. And it's almost, what do you say, like pick your battles, pick your fights, know when to do that. So there you go. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I have enjoyed it. So I'm excited. I feel really, really good. I feel like I just feel good. So I hope y'all feel that. Kirsten, again, I hope I'm not chopping your name up. Dive into the emotional aspect of it. I'm not saying that you caused this because your emotions are out of whack, but whenever you do that, it's almost, and it's not like you're embracing it, you're not accepting it. It's just like you start to understand it. And that's what happens. Like, and it's just like whenever we do, like, shadow work, like we have our skeletons in the closets, we have our shadows, and you can constantly run from them, you can hide from them, you can like pack them away real nice, but they're an aspect of you. And whenever you pull them out and go, hey, I'm Rachel, why are, like, what do you mean, why are you doing this, why, for example, sabotage, like why are you sabotaging me, Rachel? How come, Rachel, you keep sabotaging yourself? So when you start having these conversations and this self-reflection with these shadow sides, they're like, oh, you're not running no more. Okay, let's get real. Let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. And so then now I understand why I'm sabotaging myself. And I'm kind of like, okay, so I'm kind of giving myself grace and I'm not beating myself up. And then it's like, again, what we were talking about is very systematic. And then so it's like I have this different reaction when something else comes up, because I'm like, well, I'm doing that because of this. So now I know why I'm doing it. So when somebody says, hey, let's do this, or I've got an idea, I kind of know what my limits are and not to push myself too much, or how much to push myself, because I know I might be setting, like, I'm afraid I'm going to set myself up for failure. So I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it, blah, blah, blah. And it feels very empowering, because nobody knows that but you. So I don't know. So anyway, thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out. So Victor, he's going to be on this week, and then Jennifer, she's going to finish up the week. All right. Bye, guys.